Hello, I'm Seth, and behind the camera there is Tobias, and we are from Nelson Tiny Houses here in Nelson, BC. And today we're really excited to share with you our latest model. It's the Acorn House. The footprint of the Acorn is 120 square feet. The overall width is 8.5, and the overall height from the ground to the very tip is 14.5. which is a foot too much for the highways, so you do need to get an oversized permit for it, but that's quite a simple and cheap process. These houses are not meant to be RVs, they're not meant to be driven all around. They're meant to be taken to a spot and then situated on some sort of either temporary or permanent foundation. They of course can be later moved again if need be, but they're not meant to be just driven around. It would take a lot of gas, for one thing. Let's go inside and have a little tiny tour of the Acorn. So, welcome to the Acorn. We're standing in the mudroom here. Right now there's hooks up here, but this could also be a bar for hanging a bit more clothes. There's also some storage down here for jackets or boots or what have you. And then there's a very narrow little hallway right here. And now we are in the kitchen and the living room. Right is the kitchen. If I'm standing over here, I'm in the kitchen zone. There's a sink. And here will be a range. It could either be electric or propane. And behind me is a little counter station with a refrigerator down below. And all the appliances could either be electric or propane. The refrigerator could be propane, the little range could be propane. Underneath the range is where the hot water heater will go, and that could either be propane or electric. So all you would really need is something to run the lights and the outlets to charge your computer or what have you. And that could be a little solar system or micro hydro or a generator. So it could be fully off the grid if that's where it ends up. And the island here has ample storage underneath it. On this side over here there's one drawer. And then over here we've got a couple doors, and there'll be some shelving there with the hot water tank behind it. And on this side there are two drawers and one door with a little bit of shelving there. And this top was a reclaimed piece of stainless steel that fit perfectly, so we used it. Back here we've got our bathroom. It's a wet room with a shower, and right now it has a composting toilet, but it could easily be plumbed to be a normal toilet. Maybe you can peek in there. And this back wall where the shower is actually going to end up being metal, just like this wall. Just not quite done yet. And on this side over here is where you would sit down and eat your meals or work on a computer or what have you. And behind me here is the food pantry. You could also store other things in there. There's quite a lot of shelf space. And then to this side is another bookshelf. Hopefully whoever ends up living in here will be a book lover, because there's lots of places for books. Down here is more storage for clothes or bedding, or again, whatever you want to put down there. And also up above me is a big shelf. It could be for clothes or plants and baskets. And another big bookshelf here. And here is a propane heater. It is a Dickinson Newport P12000 is the model, and they're made here in BC, and you can go to their website and check them out. And there's also an electric blower unit, an in-wall unit. Either one on its own would be sufficient. Again, it just ends up, where it ends up, people will pick one or the other. We should go upstairs and check out the bedroom. So to get upstairs, we've got this nice ladder here that was made by a local artist here in Nelson. And it comes down and then it slides from side to side. You can slide it all the way against the wall just to get it out of the way. And it's quite a nice sturdy ladder. All the wood that you see in the Acorn House is either reclaimed or it's been milled up at our property. It's part of our philosophy to try to reuse as much as possible. And the R value in the walls ranges from R12 to 17, and the R value in the ceiling ranges from 22 to 27. So this is the sleeping quarters of the Acorn. Right now there's a queen size mattress, but there's actually quite a bit of room on all four sides, so I think a king could squeeze in here. You'd have to use like a memory foam mattress, something that you could curl up and stick through that hole there. There are two opening windows in the dormers, which make for nice cross ventilation when it gets warm up here. And there are actually a total of 6 opening windows in the Acorn. And then there's one fixed round window and one fixed skylight. There are 3 outlets up here, and there's a bunch of light switches. Right when you come up the ladder, there's actually a light switch to turn this light on. And then when you're ready to go to bed, you can turn it off over here, but you can also turn on and off the main lights. So if you're up here sleeping and someone knocks on the door in the middle of the night, you can turn the lights on for the downstairs. And I should mention that I'm 6'5", so I may be making things look even smaller than they actually are. I'm kind of like one of those side mirrors on your car. So that was it, the tiny tour of the Acorn. Thanks for joining us. And if you need to know any more information, you can check us out at www.nelsontinyhouses.com.